welcome to Auspiciously Charmed Weekly Charm Divination. Thank you for joining me. This reading is for the week of October 11th to October the 17th. And as usual, we will have our first cast that will give us an idea of the energies that are occurring this week, followed by a second cast that will tell us what is influencing those energies, as well as a final cast to give us any cautions, precautions, advice, and tips for the upcoming week. This reading is a general message and may or may not resonate with you specifically. Who is ready for this week? We have an intense week coming up as the veil is starting to become thinner and thinner before Samhain. Let's see what kind of cast we pull today. Taurus, our house of I have, characterized by our values. We have an energy spiral going in. So we're really being called to go inward, to work on our self-esteem, our self-worth, and our relationships to the gifts that we possess both physically and spiritually. Week in the house of Leo, the house of I will, our inner child, playfulness, pleasure, self-expression. We have a fire element, and fire is associated with dynamic energy, sparking passion, regenerative energy, and even maybe destruction. The house of Cancer in the house of I feel. So our inner foundation, our sense of security, emotional foundation, our connection to the past. We have a Apache tear. And Apache tears absorb negative energies. They protect auras. They remove self-limitations. It offers comfort and provides insight into distress. I desire, so birth, death, regeneration. We have the root chakra. So root chakras are associated with security, both physical and metaphorical, but also about basic needs. So we're going to be seeing a lot of death and rebirth and transformation occurring with our safety and our security and our basic needs such as food, shelter, home. It's going to be going through a process. After that, we are looking at the house of Aquarius, which is the I know. It's our network, our visions, personal goals, tribes, inner purpose, true friendships, and extended community. And we have the heart chakra stone here, and flipped over we have House Baratheon. So when I think of House Baratheon, I think of rebellion. I think of going after what you think is right despite what everybody else thinks or wants. And it's a very polarized house. I think of the iron gullet on one hand and the silk glove on another. When it comes to networking and our friendships and our inner purpose, we are really being called to come from a place of love and not to allow pig-headedness to get in the way of a true relationship and get in the way of being part of the extended community in which we live. Here in the house of Pisces, which is the house of I believe, so our spirituality, our undoing, subconscious dreams, nightmares, soul growth, hidden strengths, and weakness, we have the infinity symbol. So there is a reminder this week that there is not a lack. There is infinite amounts of energy divine energy that we can tap into, and we don't have to worry about the limitations. If we worry about the limitations, that's going to be contributing to the self-undoing. So we really need to remember that there's an infinite amount of energy that we can tap into so that we can more comfortably guide ourselves on our spiritual path. Here into the void space. This week we have a lot of action going on in the void space. We're feeling like these seeds that we've planted, we have an acorn here. So these seeds that we have planted and worked so hard for, that we really thought was going to bring in the sun, was going to bring in the happiness. We're not sure where that is right now. It's kind of lost in limbo, and we're questioning if those seeds are going to come to fruition. But as we've been reminded, there is an infinite amount of energy and infinite amount of resources to tap into, and we must not forget that the sun will come and it will feed the seeds and they will grow. It's just feeling like it's not at this very moment. With the acorn and the sun in the void space, we have a wolf, and this wolf is down. He is kind of looking like he needs to rest. And with the wolf, we can expect that characteristics and behaviors that no longer serve our spiritual purpose are being culled from our consciousness. So there is that need to rest, because we're going through this transformation of the things that make security in our lives. And we need to rest while we go through that. We are protected. There's nothing to fear. But the wolf will also be telling us to watch out for valuable insights and new teachings that are coming, and to maintain that self-esteem and integrity, to trust the deeper knowing of yourself, even when you feel misunderstood or misaligned. You have to hold on to that self-esteem. Remember, we're going inwards this week. We're really working on self-esteem and working on our self-worth. And the wolf is asking us to kind of take rest a little bit. Here with the hand of the king, since the wolf is asking us to trust our deeper knowing, trust ourselves, this is amplified by the hand of the king. The hand of the king is somebody who has been given this authority to speak on behalf of a whole kingdom, on the behalf of a king. This is a person who has very good counsel. They've been chosen for this. They are the person who plans. They are the person who offers support. And it's coming from the place of infinite divine energy here. So as we're going through this transformation, this reset of our root chakra stability and our basic needs, remember that your inner wisdom, it's golden. It's golden. Rely on that, but pay attention, because new insights and new teachings are coming that are going to contribute to this rebirth and transformation of the things that we consider make us stable in our lives. Here in the house of Sagittarius, our house of IC, that's higher learning, spiritual understanding, expansion of beliefs, personal philosophies. We have a cautionary charm here. Winter is coming. Anybody who has watched Game of Thrones would understand that this just means we must be prepared. There is an extraneous circumstance or an external event that is coming that is going to rock our worlds. So the good thing about this coming is when we say winter is coming and we adopt it as a cautionary tale, we start preparing. So we're being called to prepare for some sort of event that is going to cause some sort of conflict, some sort of war on spiritual understanding, our personal philosophies, our expansion of beliefs. Like, this is coming into some sort of strife, and we must be prepared. So this doesn't mean that we must fear this, it really just means is that we have to prepare for what is coming. Let's see if we can get some clarification on this energetic reading. We've been joined by Eva today. Here was that this spiral inward moved towards the house of Leo. So when we are going inward and looking at our self-worth and our self-esteem, we really want to tap into that inner child to assist with that. Now we have this button that says, your scent is like a drug to me, and it fell near the Apache tear. So here we are looking at past relationships, exes, ex-friends, maybe even family members, but people who we were addicted to. Maybe they were addicted to us, like highly toxic relationships that were not serving our highest good, are undergoing this destructive fire process to be rejuvenated. But we're protected with this Apache tear falling near it. So the Apache tear is going to remove any self-limitations and really allow us to process the grief of whatever relationships are being purged. And expect some really deep insight into the limitations that this relationship or relationships have caused for us, and tap into that fire energy. Allow it to create a passion for the regeneration of your self-esteem, your self-worth after this process occurs. This is great. So in the void space, we're getting a little bit more clarification here. So we have the earth element here between that infinity symbol and the hand of the king. And what that means is, as we tap in and remember that there is an infinite amount of divine energy that is ours to use, it's going to provide that stability so that we can further expand. We're going to have some expansion, which we knew, but this is the Sagittarius birthstone. So that is really influencing how we are dissolving those characteristics and behaviors that no longer serve us. There's an expansion of our spiritual beliefs, our philosophies, spiritual understanding. So as we're expanding, we're going to be taking that rest, and that is going to allow us to step in to this hand of the king. So we'll be able to be the advice, we'll be able to counsel once we expand, work on our self-esteem, find that stability, tapping into that divine energy. We have the guidance of the elephant spirit this week, and it fell into the house of Scorpio, so the house of I desire, birth, transformation, regeneration. It kind of knocked out that root chakra stone. And what it's saying is we have the persistence to overcome this current situation, but don't let anything stand in your way of this rebirth of your root chakra. Because as we develop a stronger foundation, we also allow for more expansion, and then we'll have more stability. So this is all tying in really nice. Action happening in the house of Virgo, so the house of I use, our health, our routine, day-to-day responsibilities, health habits, due diligence, your attitude towards scheduling and organization. And we have House Targaryen flipped, and we also have pizza. This is a piece of pizza flipped. We're really feeling like we need to turn away from some unhealthy habits as far as eating goes. We're being asked to clean up our diet a little bit. That is going to just make the rest of this a little bit easier. So you really want to eat healthy and not go for the food that is going to give you instant gratification, because that is going to turn your house upside down. And we have House Targaryen that was flipped as well with this piece of pizza. And House Targaryen was really obsessed with keeping their bloodlines pure. So when I see this here with the pizza in the House of Ayus, I am really going to remind you guys that if you want to keep your energy light and positive and high functioning, you really have to focus on those day-to-day habits. What are you doing to contribute to the purity of your aura, to the purity of your energy? You are responsible for how your house is going to present yourself. So what I mean by house is like, how are you presenting yourself to the world? And you can clean that up and keep it pure by really focusing on doing healthy things. The House of Gemini, which is our house of, I think, our communication style, our voice in media, writing, speaking, our thinking style, energy exchange. We have the divine feminine and a crown. So what I am seeing for us this week is we really want to be approaching how we're speaking and how we're communicating from a feminine perspective. And we want to be making sure that we are not stealing anybody else's crown. If anything, what we want to be doing is helping one another fix their tilted crowns amongst all this mess. And we can do that by tapping into understanding and compassion and love. That is where we're going to find the key, and we will be able to polish our own crowns as well as polish others this week, as long as we're communicating from a place of compassion. We'll just give us any sort of tips and tricks or advice to get through this intense week. It was a full plate today. Let's have a look. So the first thing that I noticed here is we have a broom or a besom and a phone. So expect some news and company is coming. Interesting. Some of you may be taking a journey. So maybe this news here or this company will be taking you on a journey. About the besom is it's a call to really clean up the energies around us, to sweep with intention any sort of energies that are invading in a negative sort of way. So we're gonna wanna clean up a lot of the energies this week. We have a earth. We have lots of earth happening this week, you guys. And it's a call to really ground yourself. So we're gonna want to tap into some stability as far as like our material possessions and spending habits. You're really gonna watch what you're doing with your money this week. That's gonna be really important to help you navigate through the energies that are occurring. And I get the feeling that this call to watch how we're spending our money is tied to winter is coming. Be prepared. So now we have that energy spiral. We really want to go in and play with our inner child and do some passions. That is really, really important this week. And I know it was last week too. So I feel like a lot of us are ignoring our inner child and we're not having enough play because of the seriousness of everything that is going on in the world today. But our inner child is really, really begging for our attention. Masculine playing a key part in the house of Ayus this week. So we're going to want to tap into the divine masculine energy to help with these daily routines. So when we think of really well-balanced masculinity, we're thinking of assertiveness, we're thinking of confidence, we're thinking of protection, accountability. So really tap into those to help you purify your daily habits. We're going to want to tap into some masculine energy, which is interesting because in our communication style, we're wanting to tap into the feminine. So as far as action goes within our house of I use, we really want to be assertive and powerful and really deal with that on a physical level. And as far as our communication style, we really want to tap into the more feminine aspects. So it's going to be a very interesting week when we are dealing with networking, true friendships, that sort of thing. We really want to come from a place of love. We want to put on that silk glove. We don't want to be wearing an iron gullet because that could cause some problems. Stand up for what you are building in your new foundations for your stability in life. Don't forget that the sun is there. These seeds will sprout. It's just looking really confusing right now because you are in this process of reforming your self-esteem and rebuilding your self-worth and expanding so that you can be a better representative. You're going to want to clean up the energies. Company may be coming. Prepare for that. Some of you guys might be receiving some really great news. There might be a journey in your future. In our communication styles, we really want to soften it up. We want to be coming from a place of love and compassion. Don't forget that we have divine, unlimited energy to tap into that's going to provide the stability we need to get through this transformation as we rest. We do want to be tapping into some stability, and we will find that in our house of I have when we go inwards and really focus on that self-esteem, really focus on that self-worth. Don't forget, your inner child really wants some attention. Go inwards, do some play, find some passion, find some happiness this week because it is going to be intense. Again, we're going to be coming into some purging of old toxic relationships, and we're protected. There's going to be a lot of insights with that. Allow the fire energy to help you destroy and then rejuvenate. Our house of responsibilities, we really need to step up our game on purifying our energies and use the masculine energy of assertiveness and power to do that. And then lastly here, winter is coming. This spiritual battle that is coming on our philosophies and beliefs, it's still coming and we must prepare. This doesn't mean that we need to fear the war that is to come, but we must prepare so that we can endure. Well, thank you again for joining me this week. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. If you're interested in future charm divinations, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when new readings are posted. Follow Auspiciously Charmed on Facebook and Instagram. Links will be posted below. And as always, blessed be and shine bright.